Hi everyone, welcome to the 5 best stretches for manual workers. Now, why have we done a video for manual workers? Well, when we think about stretching, a lot of the time we think about something maybe before or after exercise, but a lot of times we forget that our bodies during work, especially something like manual work, can be very intense on the body and can definitely over time cause stiffness, pain, and also injury as well. So it's really important that we think about when we're doing manual labor that might have that kind of negative impact on our body, that we try and look after it. And one of the best ways of doing that, apart from obviously just safe operating during your that's kind of given from your health and safety guidance, apart from that, stretching and getting the body ready for work and kind of working and stretching after your day's work is a fantastic way to prevent those injuries. So let's have a quick look at the 5 best stretches for manual workers. Stretch number 1 is wrists and forearms. In manual labor, we're constantly using our arms for working with tools, lifting and carrying, and our forearms and our wrists can take a massive hammering and can cause all sorts of trouble later down the line as well, things like arthritis. All right, so what we can do really simply is get our forearms loosened up to improve the blood supply through the muscles, relaxing the tension in the muscles with a forearm stretch. So what we're going to look to do to start with is I'm going to look to basically pull my fingers down so my palm faces away, and I'm trying to keep my arm straight so you'll be able to see my fingers point down. My palm is facing away from me, and I can just hold this stretch for a few seconds, between 10 and 30 seconds, to show you from the other angle, and then change sides, pull the fingers down, the palm faces away, my arm is straight, my shoulder relaxed, so I can feel that stretch through the forearm muscles here. This muscle that actually pulls your fingers in to make a grip. This is used really often in our manual labor. The other thing I can do is point my fingers down my back of my hand away from me, and I can stretch the other side of my forearm by pulling my palm towards my own wrist. Again, you can see my wrist is straight, my fingers are pointing down, my palm facing towards me, and again, change sides. Again, I can hold that for between 10 and 30 seconds, and I can do that between 1 and 3 times. All right, fantastic. Now let's look at our chest and upper back. All right, again, our chest can be used a lot for in manual labor, and our upper back, we can start to have bad posture if we don't look after it. So what we're going to do is a combination of 2 things. We're going to start with a dynamic stretch, which all it's going to be is just swinging our arms for open and closed, which just helps open the muscles of the chest and the upper back, what's called the thoracic part of the back. Okay, we're just going to stretch open. It also really helps get blood down to the fingertips on a cold day, helps you warm up. And we can look at doing that to an angle as well, like 45 degrees, to work muscles in different ranges of movement. That's going to really help open. Okay, then what we can look to do is we can look to then do a static stretch if we want to, by placing our hands in our lower back, okay, in like on the sort of top of your bum, lower back, pull my elbows back. I'm going to look to round my chest by pulling my shoulders back. Imagine I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and I can hold that position for again 10 to 20 to even 30 seconds to open the chest. And I can then do the opposite. I then want to stretch my upper back, so this time you can see I'm rounding my upper back, I'm interlocking my fingers and pushing the backs of my hands away from me, and I can even drop my chin to add to that stretch, showing you from the front. Nice and round. I should feel that stretch between my shoulder blades. Okay, that's stretch number 2. Let's look at stretch number 3 then. Our muscles on either side of our spine do a lot of work, especially when it comes to lifting or holding us upright for the whole of our day. All right, so we're going to look at how we can work on that. So we're going to do our spinal twists. So what we're going to look to do to start with is have a shoulder width stance, okay, and we're going to just look to twist gently, keeping my knees facing forward, so it's just my waist that's turning from side to side, and you should feel any tight muscles on either side of the spine working. And we can do this a few times. Again, if you feel a size tighter, I can just hold that position for a few seconds on either side to get that stretch. We can make that more dynamic as well, like we did with the chest. I can widen my stance a bit further, and this time I need to be able to pivot on my toes, and I can just swing my arms around, let my arms relax, and just swing them from side to side to help loosen off the muscles of the spine, get the blood moving, and help that back, protect the back. All right, let's look at the next one then. So we're going to look at our lower back and our hamstrings. Okay, so our lower back, it takes a real hammering, especially in manual labor with all the lifting and carrying. You can't always do it from great positions, or we might be on our knees quite a lot if we're a tiler or something like that. Okay, so we're going to look at how we can loosen that off. So to start with, we're going to have our feet just shoulder width apart, like so. My knees slightly bent, and all I'm going to do is just bring my touch my own elbows like so, and I'm just going to let myself relax forwards, keeping my knees bent. Okay, I'm just going to relax forwards like so, and again I can turn my upper body just to sort of loosen that off, but I'm trying to just hang. It's called, in yoga, it's called like a ragdoll position. Okay, so I'm just hanging down. Now what I can do to stretch the back of the legs is I place my palms on my shins, I straighten my legs, and you can see I bring my chest up so I'm parallel to the floor with my knees locked straight, and I can feel that stretch on the back of my legs. Hold that for a few seconds, and I can drop back down into that ragdoll, back up into that position, that L-shaped position. And again, you can do this as many times as you need, just to try and relax off the lower back, stretch the back of the legs, and then come back up. Okay, it's time for our last stretch number 5, okay, which is our neck. So this time we're going to look at just mobilizing the neck again, sort of dynamically to start with, and then we can hold a static stretch if we require that. So we're just going to look left and right over our shoulder to start with, left and right, and we're trying to get our chin in line with our shoulder. If you feel that it's a little bit tight on one side, or maybe it's tight on both sides, you can then hold in that position. I can use my fingertips then just to press against my chin to try and hold that and just get a slight stretch from that position. I'm not forcing it, but I can feel a gentle stretch. Same on the other side if I need to. Fingertips just on the chin to get that gentle stretch. Then we look up and down. Again, you can do this a few times, between 8 and 10 times, just looking up and down, feeling where you might have some tension. And again, if it's when I'm looking up, I feel the tension, I can use my fingertips on my forehead to push my head back gently, or I can tuck my chin and put my fingertips on the back of my head to pull my chin towards my chest and hold that again between 10 and 30 seconds for a static stretch. Lastly, my ear to my shoulder, this is our neck stretch still. So I'm just moving from one side to the other. Again, if I feel any tension in one side or the other, I can use my fingertips just to pull my ear gently to my shoulder to get that extra stretch down the muscles in my neck on either side, holding between 10 and 30 seconds. I hope that helps. If you can use that before work and after work, each time you work, each day, that'll be amazing. Try it out, give us some feedback, let us know how you're getting on. Take care guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.